Everybody ready? The time is 6:32. I'd like to call this regular Board of Education meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is the roll call for those Board of Education members who are present. Trustee Goodrich, could you perform the roll call, please?
Certainly. Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
Present.
Trustee Goodrich, I am here. Trustee Townsend. Trustee Espy. President Hawkins.
Here. We have 5 Board of Education members present and 2 who are absent at this time. Next, that takes us to the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to invite everyone in attendance to join us in reciting of the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, that takes us to the acceptance of the agenda. Is there a motion at this time?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy, I move that the Board of Education accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Sutton Kennedy. Is there support for this motion?
Support, Trustee Townsend.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to achievements, awards, and recognition. And at this time, I will turn it over to Dr. Zachary Ross for this and the presentation, which is item number 5.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I will invite Ms. Turquoise Neal up. She has been working really closely with our International Baccalaureate and Magnet programs, and I know she would love this honor to be able to share the exciting news about these points of pride. Good evening. It is a great pleasure that I share that our career-related program
at Ypsilanti Community High School has been approved for authorization. So this means that our students who are enrolled in our CTE programs can now also participate in IB certification. And so they don't have to choose between doing a diploma program. They can choose our career-related program, and they'll take all the required courses in order to earn their IB certification. And there aren't very many CP programs in the state of Michigan, let alone internationally. So this is an international certification, connects right along with all of our vision work for our students at the high school. And as students progress through the pathway, they'll be able to earn this certification. So we are so excited. This is our first of 3 more to come. So we still have our MYP at the middle school and the high school, and then the diploma program at the high school as well, which takes the MYP programs. They are 2-year programs, so take a little bit longer. So we'll be here again next year this time, celebrating those approvals as well.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from the board?
Did we, I know when we first talked about the magnet program, but I can't remember if we got like a breakdown of like what those courses look like at all.
No, you don't, because that was a part of our authorization process. So with the approval, we'll submit all of the courses. They are in our course catalog. So all the diploma courses that students take as part of the CP program were approved with our, what is that big thing that Carlos did? The course guide. Yeah, so they're in the course guide. I'm sorry. They are all in the course guides, but we'll have a plan of work for students based on whatever CTE program they chose.
So then it'll have a breakdown. If you want to do this program, you have to take
These courses, correct? Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to offer that I'm very excited that students are going to have this opportunity to be able to do both things,
Yes.
right? Because I recognize and I've heard from a lot of families this choice that they have to make, and the fact that this is now an opportunity to both to do that career-related work along with the IB Baccalaureate. It's really exciting.
Yes, yes, it's so exciting because they'll get the same college credit that they will get if they're in a diploma program. So it is exciting for our students, and then whatever choice they make at the end of their 12 years, or even in their 13th or 14th year, they'll still have that college credit that's transferable. So we're so excited.
You mentioned that the MYP authorization will come possibly next year. What does that mean for the program in the meantime?
So we're still in candidacy stage, and the candidacy stage requires that we teach MYP units for a year, and then we'll have a consultant visit in the fall, and then our verification visit in the spring, and then we'll be here again, celebrate.
Any other questions, comments? Excellent update, exciting options and pathways for our students. So thank you, Ms. Neal.
Thank you.
Dr. Zachary Ross, I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, we're asking Mr. Birchwell, John Birchwell, to come. As we know, we asked the board to take on quite a few projects this summer. There was the board workshop leading up to the board request to go into these projects, and we knew that they were going to be a plethora. And Mr. Birchwell and his team took this responsibility on. We know that most of it is coming from funds from PA 321, which was that debt reduction. And we want to make sure that as things are going, many of the projects are behind the scenes. We want to make sure the public knows that we're making those, making progress, as well as to know what to look forward to when we come back to school in the fall. So thank you, Mr. Birchwell.
Good evening. Thank you for having me come tonight. So, the summer school is for the signs and landscaping is underway. If you can go notice, a lot of the signs been tore out. They're new concrete pads next to the, all the school buildings. Besides a few of them, but they're working on them this week. The electrical is being installed. If you might see some large equipment out by the schools, because they're doing a lot of underground boring for they would have to rip our parking lots up. It's just cost saving measure to do it that way. Our landscaping started last week. If you notice, if you drive down Hewitt Road, the big giant bushes that was on the side of the building are gone now. They got it all graded. That's where the greenhouse will be going for the botany class. They're going to be starting up here tomorrow. Well, I've been told by Margolis, and I'm doing a walkthrough for some other buildings throughout the day tomorrow with them, for they can work on like the building where the GLC is not working at. So you'll be seeing movement at Adams, Erickson, Ford, and Holmes as well the next couple of weeks until GLC gets over, and then they'll move over to where the kids aren't outside during the day working. They'll have everything pulled out before school starts, and then they'll most likely be starting to plant in the fall, because you don't never want to plant plants in the heat of the summer. And this is a 5-year plan, so they're it's in their best interest too, is keeping everything alive. They'll be coming around. You'll see Margolis trucks watering them a couple of times a year, pruning them, working with our staff, the facility maintenance grounds department, to teach them how to maintain the stuff after the 5 years and taking care of it. Just want to throw in the billboard sign. I'm still working on the billboard sign for our district, but meanwhile, we got a really good advertisement deal for the one on Huron 94. So if you're driving down Huron, look at that digital sign right there. We got stuff going on around that sign. Playgrounds for the school is all ordered. Now they told me it'd be September 8th. They bouncing back and forth from June to, they told me it'd be in middle of August. Now they're telling me September 8th again. It all depends on how everything going with the metal and everything, but they said they'll get right on it soon we take delivery. The order of the schools will be the dual immersion, and then we'll move over to Holmes, then Esterbrook, and then Erickson. That's the plan of attack for all the playground equipment for the buildings. So We had to remove one tree to make room for the dual immersion. This is just some of the playground renderings for the for the homes in Estabrook and Erickson. I have larger renderings if you would like to see for the dual immersion program. I can put them out if you need to see them. But that's what for all the playgrounds and equipment. And the summer boiler projects is part of the PA 321. Ace and Chapel is done. Estabrook was a sinking fund project, so was completed today. Got the state inspection done and everything passed today on that one. The high school, if you look at the big orange boiler, that's from 1970. That's what we heat the high school with. And if you look at that littler one, it's like an overgrown deep freezer. That one's there, is one that we replaced one of the large ones for, and we need to get two more. So I'll be coming to you in the next few weeks to ask for a change order for we can have the company that did the Estabrook boiler swap out the boilers for the high school, and they're 90% efficiency. So the old ones is about 65% efficiency. So we're going to save on her energy use for the district by swapping the boilers out. And you can't buy parts for that big orange boiler no more. We put in when the building was built back in the early 70s. So the hallways painting is moving along. It's in progress. A lot should complete it. We're just going through now on the buildings that are completed and just getting punch lists done. So that's mean I walk the buildings, I look at every classroom, and if I notice I don't like how something look, or the paint look a little light, or around the drinking fountains, because we have drinking, I gotta get everything in there. So sometimes the drinking fountains got replaced before the painters got in there. Other times the painters got in there before the drink, vice versa. So there is going to be touch-ups going on, but that's why it's a work in progress. It's complete, so we can't have school there if we need to. The painters, you will see the painters coming in just doing touch-ups and everything for around drinking fountains, around doorways. If there's some doors that need to be fixed up, we're working with the painters on it all. Like if you look at the bottom left corner there, you can see the holes in the wall. They painted it. I got to tell the painters like, hey, you need to fix that and stuff. No, they'll come back and take care of it. They'll fill the holes in and paint it and touch it up. In the top right corner is the new chiller for the high school. The old chiller was super problematic. We're just waiting for one more part. I'll get an update through Train tomorrow morning when I have my meeting with them. It's hopefully by end of this month after GLC, we can switch over from the rental unit that Train's providing. We're not occurring that cost on the rental unit. So that's going to be a lot easier to maintain for her to maintenance department and take care of. And they also have a warranty. It's more energy efficient than her old one we had. Down on the lower right is the new track at Willow Run. So you can see how it looks great. The field looked great over there on it and everything. The only thing I'm waiting for Dublin Field is the scoreboard. Everson, I finally found a rep to come out and look at the scoreboard. I've been working with Danny Brown. We've been scouring the state trying to find somebody to take care of her scoreboard to work on it. And they're supposed to be contacting me this week. I talked to them last week on it. The roofing for the building, Shadford, is complete. Ace material, if you drive around back, you'll see a bunch of white styrofoam and everything for insulation for the roof. Well, it's on the ground. They're going to wait until the end of the month to start installing it, and as well as Ford. They're all going to redo the Ford roof. Right now, the Ford roof is pretty problematic, leaking too. We're working with Triumph Modular and portable units for the Holmes Elementary for a 4-classroom. We have a girl and boys bathroom in it, staff bathroom, and a break room or extra office. I told you before at my other meeting that that's going to be a permanent structure. It's just we can't afford to do that, so it's going to be a portable. But when I bring you guys the designs, they look like regular structures, and we'll be able to move this if we need to. If as we need a need somewhere else, Holmes buildings are pretty old building, and if we have to go down the road with it, we can make it movable, but we can pick all the correct siding we want, all the faucet fixtures and everything that we use normally on a day-to-day basis, we can put in the building, so it won't, we can, spec it out the way we want it. So it won't be cheaper hardware. It's going to be the better stuff that holds you up for the students. Filter First drinking fountains is, wrapping up. They have homes to do. And wise, they ran in a snag before I got this, what I found out about an hour ago. They told me they have homes done, and when I talked to them, they told me they had a snag. So, but they're working on a problem with that. Dual immersion bathrooms, I'll show you in the next slide. They're all done. The kindergarten's been renovated. They've got little tiny baby toilets in there now, and the sinks all been dropped down. So that went pretty seamless. The security vestibules are ordered. They should be delivered by the end of the month. What my contractor told me, that he don't think it would take more than maybe a week or two to install for it. Fuel tanks, we're still waiting for the state permits to get the new above ground fuel tanks installed, and pull out the 30-year-old underground tanks. For the summer projects, we're the custodian staff are doing a great job stripping and waxing the floors and getting them underway for we have nice, beautiful floors for school to start. They're really doing a good job with that. The book depository, I took 2 classrooms over at the old Willow Run High School campus and turned them into a book depository for the district and get all the curriculum in one location. I got shelving up over there. There's just a few little things I need to take care of over there. And we already started putting books over there. So if we have any excess books that the principals don't want, we put them in that room. The furniture delivery for dual immersion is scheduled for the end of the month. As you can see right there on the lower right is the little baby toilet for the kindergartners at the dual immersion program. And we're having the ribbon cutting on August 18th in the evening. Do you guys have any questions for me? It's a lot. Yeah. And that's just a small portion of everything we're doing.
Any questions from the board? Thank you, Mr. Birchwell, for this update and presentation of where we are. Are there board questions or comments at this time?
Yeah, I'm curious about when going back to the playgrounds, how will that show up in terms of the students being back in school? I'm wondering, is there any scaffolding that can occur in terms of the equipment being sent out? So that way things like the dual immersion school can get their playground in since they don't have one? Is it going to be scaffolded in terms of when the parts get delivered, or is everything expected to come at the same time?
Everything for the whole district, they think is going to come in at the same time. I try to see if they can spread it out and get the dual immersion here first, since they really don't have a playground over there. And he said the way it's designed is coming from, I think they're based out of Texas. It'll all come at the same time, but they said they'll get right on that and get the dual immersion done for us. There with the turf grass and everything, we're getting away from the wood chips because wood chips cost a lot of money, and this is going to be the artificial turf grass for the play skates, because you gotta have drop zones. So if a kid fall or anything, like if you have an 8-foot getting in the weeds, if you have an 8-foot swing set, you gotta have 16 feet on both sides of artificial material there to make it for the kid fall or they won't get hurt and stuff. So did I answer your question? I mean, it's just timing. I mean, that's all it was. We started this program a little behind the 8 ball, but we got it moving up traction quickly.
Thank you.
Mr. Birchwell, what is the normal turnaround time to get like a playground for the done?
Normal,
On the side.
normally, a normal playground, you plan it in the winter months, you order it in January, and they usually can get it done in about a month. And they told me they still, once they get landed on the ground, it'll take about a month to get. They're thinking maybe 6 weeks they can have everything done for the whole district. 'Cause they're just going to station a crew here since we did a large project and just move from building to building to building.
And it was one other question, but I'm sure I probably asked it already in our meeting. But I do want to just personally say thank you. I mean, your team has been doing an excellent job. I enjoy working on this committee with you and Mr. Butler. Because it just is good to see how money flows and where our investment is going and how the district is improving in the ways for our facilities compared to other districts and stuff. So I do want to, and I also love the fact that you tend to use a lot of local,
Yep.
uh,
Contract.
contractors, which to me is even more of an investment than people that work and live in the community can see how we're being responsible with the funds that we have and making sure that students have what they need. Because we know, yes, you come to school for an education, but there's a social aspect of it too that helps students even be more successful.
Yeah.
So I do want to just say thank you to you and Mr. Butler for all of the hard work and stuff that you're doing over the summer. No sleep. I can relate to that, but thank you. And I love, like, when I'm looking at the soap dispenser, I see a YCS logo on it.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you for that
No
branding. Okay.
But the electronic signs, we've been told too today, everything's moving quick. The electronic signs are going to start getting installed by the 21st this month. So you're going to start seeing signs popping up, the new ones throughout the district. So
And I want to add that you didn't say this, but all of the signs will have similar branding.
yes,
That's very important, so that is no confusion. It's,
Very.
it's branded throughout the district, so everybody's signs will be similar for their particular school.
yeah, there won't be one, everybody's gonna have the same stuff, yep. And our contractors, they tell you, the contractors, two of the painting contractors are local guys. They went to school here, so they take really great pride to be here. They think it's awesome coming back and being able to do something like this big painting project because it is a big undertaking. We're doing 1.3 million square feet this summer and it will get done. So, all right. Thank
Any
you.
other? One more quick question, Mr. Birchall. No, you're fine. Did you mention earlier, I thought I heard you say this, that if the fountains where they were installed and if there's a gap or hole, they'll come back and patch that and
Yep.
then they'll paint that?
Yep.
Okay,
they'll
I thought I
just
heard you
touch
say
it
that.
up. Yep. I gotta walk every building and make a little punch list. I did
Okay.
Esterbrook. I gotta do the other buildings. It's very time consuming. I mean, a lot of time I just walk in the evening and you look at every room, make sure everything looks good. And it's just trying to get all the punch lists done. Yeah.
Tedious, yes.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for the update, for all that you're doing to get this moving forward so that when we come back in the fall or August 25th or whatever that date is, we'll come back to brand new spaces, brand new looking spaces. So I know this is a lot for you and your team, but we do appreciate the updates and all the hard work.
All right. Thank you.
Yep, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Next, that takes us to public comments. Ms. Haynes, are there any public comment cards that have come in? Thank you, Ms. Haynes. That takes us now to the consent agenda. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, Trustee Fields, move that the Board of Education approve June 16th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. Number 2, June 16th, 2025 special board meeting minutes. And number 3, personal matters as per presented, listed dated 7/9/2025, new hires, resignations, and retirements.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Fields. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Espy, I support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Espy. All those in favor? Those opposed? That motion carries. That takes us to item 8, which is our discussion, and we are at the second reading for this meeting of our volume 39, number 1, policies. I will turn it over to the chair of the policy committee, trustee Goodrich, who will lead us in a discussion on the policy updates.
Thank you, Madam President. So we had the first read of these policies at our June meeting. And what you're seeing now are just clean copies of the policies that we did the first read on. There is, let's see, two things I just wanted to touch on. I believe we talked about for PO 2264, we're still waiting on legal advice to see whether or not that is completely replaced by the Throon Policy 2266. And so that we know whether or not we need to take that one up. So we're still waiting on that. Is that correct?
It was just one, it's one
Yep.
small detail. That was the one.
Okay, cool. So we will take that up at our next subcommittee meeting then after we have some more information. The only other change we had is that for PO 5500, we took Trustee Espy's comments from the last meeting and we made an attempt to edit the language to make it clear that AI prohibition is not our default state. So that is the one change that we are bringing from what we went over in the first read. So we welcome any questions or comments that you all might have at this time.
I don't have a question or a comment, but can you repeat what number policy you said you were talking about, Epsy? Which one were you?
That is 5500, student
Okay.
conduct.
Okay.
So you'll see it showed up as, I think, red lettering on the new edits that we added since the first read.
Any comments or questions from the board? I know that we, our first reading was on June 16th, and this is just our second reading. Just always want to thank Trustee Goodrich for her leadership in shepherding these policies through so that we can make sure everything is updated and in order in the district. If there are no other comments, we will move to our next agenda item.
I'll just say many thanks to you, President Hawkins, and Trustee Sutton Kennedy for your work on that subcommittee as well.
Yeah, I want to say that I appreciate the shift in the language, indicating that the expectation is that there would be attribution or modification to any AI generated text or work. And I think that is a much more clear indication of how that would look. Beyond that, I do think, and I don't know if it's the option, in terms of the use of AI NLP tools in the school setting, it does seem to be pretty supportive. I'm curious if there was any conversation with educators who have been using it or how the AI lab is being used at the high school, just to make sure that we are not prohibiting things that would actually be part of the curriculum. And so that's just one thing I think to be mindful of, because I think in giving these examples, would you say that this is a non-exhaustive list?
I would say that all of our policies touching on AI are going to have to be it's something we're going to need to return to. And we're kind of midstream here. We have a lot of parallel language and other policies that were passed in previous packages. So it's just a spider's web of interconnections, trying to make sure that we're uniform. I would love to see if maybe we could work with our policy providers to, when we revisit these, to draft something that's more holistic and maybe less prescriptive in all these individual ways, because it's impossible to write something today that's going to apply even a week from now in many ways.
Right.
Exactly right.
And I just want to add, this one, 5500, is just about student conduct in general, not specifically to the AI. And that's why the AI one was pretty open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we tried, so the board, I think the subcommittee, we did talk about many of the uses and what's happening with the AI lab and throughout the district. And so this one got some more specifics because it was not just talk about AI, but I think we gave examples about other things.
Yeah.
And added some language because it was more about just academic honesty in general. So I just wanted to add, because that was an in-depth conversation that the board members brought additional language to the conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Zachary Ross. Other board comments?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
Yes.
Could we remove the 2 commas in the middle of the appended statement about artificial intelligence, the one separating one's own from the explanation? And then the one before or, so we have everything that is about the artificial intelligence and sort of its own statement. I think it would make it a
Don't see any reason we couldn't do that.
Okay.
I'm curious if perhaps you would want to actually utilize some of those pieces around how students can use AI. Perhaps that actually should show up within the AI policy as opposed to in the conduct. I think the conduct prior to that makes it pretty clear what conduct would not be acceptable. Right. And then that way, when you're talking about AI, you can be more explicit about how it's expected to be used. But I'm not sure exactly if that makes sense. I know the AI policy currently references the conduct policy, and I'm wondering if it should have some of that, but like reciprocal.
That's an excellent question. There's actually pieces of this in a number. I can't recall all of the exact policy numbers off the top of my head, but we've gone through a couple of folders that have had this sort of parallel.
Okay.
That the way Neola structured these, that's the way they're pointing. I
Right.
do think long term, I would love to revisit more broadly how these are structured.
Now, I appreciate that, and yeah, I recognize that you're trying to follow a model that maybe doesn't necessarily fit what is happening currently. However, that's what we have, so understandable.
And the only comment that I will make related to the policies in regards to the comments that were made is that down the line, not sure how far down the line, but I know there'll be some discussion about using a different set of policies based on the emails we've got from MASB and the relationship changing. So we are not done with this conversation. I'll just say, in short, I'll just say that. Did you want to add anything, Trustee Goodrich?
No, I do think we have some conversations to have, and also I recognize any transition is a huge lift.
Yep.
But as much as we can, with whatever provider we're working with, as much as we can make our policies streamlined, legally accurate, and in line with our values as a district, we're going to work on getting there.
Yes. All right, thank you, Trustee Goodrich, and thank you, Trustee Sutton Kennedy, for your work on this committee. If there are no other board comments or questions, that takes us to our request for a closed section under Section 8H, OMA, Attorney-Client Privilege. Is there a motion at this time?
Trustee Townsend move that the Board of Education go into closed session pursuant to Section 8(1)H of the Opens Meeting Act to consider materials exempt from public discussion or disclosure under state or federal statute.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Townsend. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy, support.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Sutton Kennedy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. The board will convene in closed session and we will leave and come back and reopen the board meeting. Nope, that's okay. All right, the time is 8:05. The board is officially back in open session. That takes us to item number 11 on our agenda, which is the acceptance of the Washtenaw Intermediate School District Contracted Services Agreement Contract. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, this is trustee Goodrich. I move that the Board of Education accept the proposed WISD contract for staffing for $853,256.07 for 2025-2026, $894,908.64 for 2026-2027, and $936,194.53 for 2027-2028.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Goodrich. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Espy, I support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Espy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to the acceptance of a home STEAM elementary school furniture purchase. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I move that the Board of Education accept the Lakeshore Learning Materials quote for $120,633.75 to purchase furniture for Home STEAM Elementary School.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Espy. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Townsend, support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to the acceptance of a contract to lease buses. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, trustee Fields, move that the Board of Education accept the proposal to lease 4 65-passenger buses for $135,612 and 2 general education buses equipped with fully integrated car seats for $130,955 from Holland Bus Company.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Fields. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Espy, I support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Espy. I know there were some questions that came up earlier around this before the meeting. Want to just make sure board members have, if they have an opportunity to ask questions, they can do so at this time. Any board questions?
Yes. What would our fleet be? And then, is this replacing any buses that we currently have? Because I know the last meeting we had, there were some conversations about some of the electrical buses had
Yeah.
some issue.
Yes, and this is definitely goes with the ones that were in the budget that Mr. Butler placed in the budget, so.
Yes.
Can you come to the
amount
Can you come- Thank you. You're not on the microphone, so we need you.
Not on the microphone.
We need you on the microphone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. These will be in addition to our 37 buses that we have in our fleet. We have 10 electric and then the 27 diesel buses that we lease. We have cab kids that are costing the district an astronomical amount. I counted, it was from one company, it was 17 kids. And then from another company, it was 29 kids. With a total, as of today, it was, sorry, I have too many pages. $690,896.
For the last year? Can you say that number again?
$690,896.
Okay. These are from children that I'm assuming are homeless or no?
Is this
These
special
are
needs?
just
Or special
for
needs.
special. needs.
These are special needs students.
Okay, all right.
So looking at that and then looking at the cost of leasing these buses per year and getting these kids on buses, that would be $220,148 with these extra buses.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So prior to this, we didn't have any buses that accommodated these kids, or we didn't have enough of them?
We didn't have enough.
Okay.
My summer routes right now have all our special needs buses on the road. And that we only had 6 buses on the road last summer. Now we have 8, and we're still routing children. So there is a definite need for more buses.
And can you share which ones are like we have how many that are in district, and then we also serve our out of district?
Yes, we
ones?
go to,
Just the complicated part is the routes are in and out. Can you explain that?
we have High Point that we go to on Wagner Road.
Mhm.
We go to Dexter. We go to Milan. We go to Key Bank in Ann Arbor. We go to Progress Park in Ann Arbor. So there's a number of schools and places that these buses have to travel. And if one breaks down, I have to scramble and try and somehow to get these students to school. So with the extra buses, not only can they help the special needs, but they can help preschoolers also. Because they have the integrated seats that has the child seatbelt, the 5-point harnesses for just like a car seat.
Would this also then enable those preschool age children to be traveling on the bus without the parent, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, preschools, yeah, they don't get in the bus.
Right, but if they were having a cab, those cab children would have oftentimes are accompanied by an adult.
Sometimes they're accompanied by adult. It all depends on
Mhm.
what's
Okay.
going on and what their IEP is. or
What on
they're
a,
just-
on a normal day or average day, how many times, like how many cabs are we using, I guess, in a day to transport students?
Well, with 29 for care transport and 17, that's 48. That's a lot of,
48 cabs?
Yes.
Like one way?
Mhm.
So double that is what we're doing on the daily.
correct. And I got the cab kids down for the summer program to 8.
Mm.
So
Thank you.
I am trying my best to get the cost down for the
To
cabs.
keep, yeah, to keep that in the district as opposed to paying it out
Correct,
in the revenue,
correct.
right?
Yes,
I would assume it'd be
Yes.
a risk management issue too,
Mhm.
now. it's-
Definitely.
Okay. So
definitely.
do we have,
Yes.
so I'm assuming that means we need more drivers?
Actually, I mean, I will interview every day for new drivers. Right now, we have 35 drivers. Right now, we have 30 monitors. Last year, we had 31 routes. Not really sure what's going to happen. I have to wait to get into the routing for the 25-26 school year. But in comparison, last year, summer school was 18 buses.
Mm.
And actually, we now have 28 because we just added another route to keep Wyma separate than the Ipsy kids. Not just because of that, just because it worked out that way because of the time. So 28 routes compared to 18 last year.
So we should see less, I guess, downtime, I guess, between the drivers, maybe adding these other buses that you know how you have the split. So
Yes.
they stop, they work, and then they got to check out and check back in. So this would give them more hours for the ones who we already have, I'm
Yes.
asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Do you have any other questions?
I
Great.
just want to name that I'm excited about this, particularly having buses equipped with car seats. I know that is a difficult transportation need, that's necessity. So extremely excited to see that that's an option now that within the district that we're able to provide.
Yes, I'm very excited too.
Any other board comments or questions? Thank you so much.
Sorry,
for-
I do have one, not really, but I do. Does this really, and just kind of like piggybacking on what Trustee Thompson asked earlier, is that something separate from the homeless program where because we have lots of cabs for that too, a lot of kids use the
Correct.
cab. So
Correct.
is that something separate? And are
Yes.
we looking into trying to get away from that cab service as far and use some sort of our own in-house bus?
I
for
would
that?
like to get
Okay.
it to a point where it's all YCS that's doing.
Okay. I was just curious when she said that, I wanted to ask that if we're trying to get away from also using the cab service for that and maybe have buses to accommodate
Yes,
that.
that's what I'm
population as
trying.
Well,
Right now, we
Okay.
are fully staffed.
okay, great.
So
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay, thank you. That was my question.
Thank you for working hard to create efficiencies in the district. I know it's logistically challenging
it is.
to do, and that's putting it mildly. So thank you for doing all you can to create efficiencies within the district.
Thank you
We
so much.
appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me.
Thank you. Yep, so the math adds up. Yes, it does need to be revised. Okay. It's updated in board docs, but not on the printed. I have a printed. You have a printed too, right? You can, that would be fine.
No. it
Trustee
was-
Espy.
Motion was Fields, support was SB.
Okay.
Oh, it is Phil's Espy. Yes, I have it written down right here. Go ahead. Yep.
All right. Trustee Fields, I move that the Board of Education accept the proposal to lease 4 65 passenger buses for a 3-year term for a total of $444,120 and 2 general education buses equipped with fully integrated car seats for a 3-year term for a total of $219,162 from Holland Bus Company.
Thank you.
Did we need to rescind the motion? Because it was.
We hadn't voted.
Oh,
We just went right into discussion.
oh,
So the motion has been restated by trustee Fields. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Espy, I do support this restated motion.
Okay, the motion has been moved. It is correct in board docs, but those of us who have paper copies in front of us don't have that motion, but it is correct in board docs. So a motion was moved by trustee Fields, supported by trustee Espy. We've already had discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to donations for YCS events. Is there a motion at this time?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy moved that the Board of Education accepts donations from one Wacker Chemical for $3,000, 2 McDonald's for $2,500 for the YCS event series.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Sutton Kennedy. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Fields, I support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Fields. All those in favor?
aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Thank you to our generous donors for all of these donations to support our YCS event series. Next, that takes us to item number 12, which is our Neola policy updates. Is there a motion at this time?
Trustee Townsend moved that the Board of Education adopt the volume 39, number 1, set for September 2024 policies as presented.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Townsend. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Fields, I support.
Thank you. Supported by trustee Fields. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'm sorry, I want to add something for discussion on that. Just in acknowledging that there were some pieces that felt as if they were under student conduct. The exhaustive list of uses of AI was something that I had a couple questions about, but I'm comfortable moving forward. I'm just curious if there's any way to assure that the educators have the discretion to say what use is appropriate for students.
And I think that is captured, I mean, yeah, I hear what we had in the previous discussion. I think that some of that discretionary aspect is captured in the general AI policy that puts, that empowers the superintendent to be more adaptive. We're, yeah,
Great.
these are going to be a work in progress.
No, I appreciate that
Mhm.
willingness to be adaptive and have multiple iterations if necessary. All right, thank you.
You are welcome. To recap, the motion was made by trustee Townsend, supported by trustee Fields. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. That takes us to item 13. Have any public comment cards come in at this time?
Considering.
Okay, thank you for checking, Ms. Haynes. Next, that takes us to item 14, Board of Education Subcommittee Reports. Are there any subcommittee reports at this time?
Fields, go ahead. Its communications team subcommittee met on July 7th with Lambert. We talked about, they kept us updated on what's going on right now as far as the communications. They were still working on it. If anyone still has any Together Tuesdays, if you have not submitted one, you're still open to do that. They're still accepting those, which is great. They talk about the program spotlights, is still on the table as far as highlighting what programs and initiatives we're going to be taking. They're going to be coming up across the district in the future. We have some virtual campaigns going on about the enrollment process and, getting enrollment up and running that campaign as well. There will be an upcoming ribbon cutting for the de-escalation room, I believe, at Perry. I don't think I got that date, but I think that's going to be coming up soon, right? Is that right? Yeah, finish, and then they're gonna, yep, and we talk about, so we talked about that's a new room that they're gonna be setting up at Perry. They also reported on different avenues of reporting that they have been reporting out to about different things that are happening in YCS. They've used WXYZ, EMU, Concentrate, MLive, WJPK, CBS, and all those places are places that they're reaching out to about different activities where, they can't guarantee us if they're gonna grab any of those, but they are reaching out to those different avenues for highlighting what's going on in YCS. We talked a little bit about the articles and talking about the reporters for, we know a lot of us may have read that the Chalkbeat or, that article, but we're trying to get some feedback on that and just to find out what kind of I don't know, ball dropped. They missed a lot, obviously. They didn't get a lot of correct information on our behalf, but we're talking about how that can be done differently and maybe how they can change that. We know how sometimes YCS kind of gets the bad side of reporting a lot. I think that, oh yeah, and they're still working on our social media, getting all those things up. And we're working on our branding. So they're working on getting the branding updated for all the upcoming events that we have going on. And I think that's all I have. And on the strategic plan, they're talking about the strategic plan as well.
Great.
So, and ways to do that. And then we'll talk about that again, I think, a little bit more in depth when we have a retreat. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, trustee Fields. I did have one quick question for you. I don't know if it's come up in communication committee, in this committee or not, but is there, how we're receiving the updates about our project updates across the district that are happening, is there a plan to communicate that out to other stakeholders? like our parents, our students, like just all the great things that are happening
Yeah.
over the summer in
Right.
terms of how we are updating.
I've been getting the emails. I'm not sure if anybody else, but they use my personal email. So I get a lot of communication emails about what's going on
Okay.
in the community. I'm not sure if anybody else, but I personally do because they use, just because, you know, I'm a grandparent of son, so I get that. So I'm not quite sure how to do it if that's what you're asking, but they are sending out emails as well as the other committee. But I do get an email telling us what's going on, what's about to happen, what we look forward to. And I'm not sure if that's what your question is.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just wondering, I'm assuming then the answer is yes, that parents are getting that same information.
I would think so,
Okay.
as long as they have that, because I have received it, not on my YCS side, but I've received it on my personal email side about what's going on in the community when things are happening and up. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
as long as they have that information and they got the correct information, that they are someone sending out that communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I like to
Mhm.
lift up. I think it's
Absolutely.
good to lift up all the good things. And so,
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I say all the time. And that's why I'm on that committee and I'm on them all the time about, hey, how are we putting it out there? What are we saying? And how do we, just even, for example, for that particular piece, how do we come back from that? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
that was not reported correctly. And a lot of key information that they should have used was not used on our behalf, right? And they kind of
Yep.
picked what they wanted to use out of it. And we just, and if we're paying them as a communications team, we need to find, okay, how can we do that differently? And what can we do next time? And he, of course, he said they don't have control over, and I get that. But even still, if we're using you to help us as a communications team, then that's what we're paying you for, to figure out how you can help us to better be able to kind of like that or clean that up or just reach out. Because, yeah, they don't have any control. But I just don't like that response that I sometimes get back on that, to be honest, about how we can do that a little different.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Yep. Other Board of Education Subcommittee reports?
The Finance Committee also met on July 7th. We talked about a lot of the things that Mr. Birchwell discussed this evening. We will follow up with a more comprehensive presentation that adds the numbers to it. And I'm assuming that'll be in the next month, about the next month. So people can see as far as the monies we receive, how are they spent out, you know, a lot of more elaborate pictures and some type of promotion to just say, hey, this is what we've done. We did discuss that in detail. Also, there was a conversation that it may be time for us to, as a board, do another bus tour of all of the properties that we have and facilities, just so that we can see for ourselves on what has done. There's been a lot of changes in the building from since we last did it. I want to say 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. So, and plus it'll be good for the new board members to also see all the different facilities that we have and what's been done in the last changes. Also from WASB, you all should have started receiving calendar invites for next year's date. They're getting them out pretty early, which is fine with me. So I just want to make sure that you all respond to those. If there are some dates where you want me to inquire, and I know we talked about the the legislative breakfast, about having Zoom options and stuff for that.
Right.
I will make sure that they have that communication, and I'll just copy you on the email so that
Thank you.
we know that at least YCS can participate in that way, if that's to increase our activity, with attending those meetings as well. I will be there for the bacon though. Sorry. I'm tired. Okay. And I think that's pretty much it. All that I have. But that's it.
All right, thank you, Trustee Townsend. I know that they are getting those dates out early for us to have on our calendars, and I appreciate a good plan ahead. Do you know if reminder emails will go out?
That is one of the things we also talked about.
Okay.
Because yeah. So I with the new person that they have, he's been doing very good with trying to make sure
we stay up on date time, up to speed with that. But yes, I will also remind them about reminders.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Other subcommittee reports? Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
So I guess this isn't necessarily from a meeting, but I wanted to raise to awareness one of the House bills that was sort of presented, is that the term, or read? In June, it's House Bill 4588, and it is about school board elections requiring candidates to have a partisan affiliation. And so I just wanted to raise awareness to our fellow board members about that bill being in the House with the level of polarity between the two parties right now. There are some concerns about that bill, sort of, blocking eligible persons, people who might be, really good to serve on the board, who may not necessarily want to associate with either party at this moment. And there's some conversation going on both sides, for and against that bill. So I just wanted to raise that at the table here, since it would impact all of us, as well as anyone else who might join us in the future. And I do plan to email our local representative to ask some questions about what they think, where that's going, and if and how we'll be moving forward, just so we can have some more information about that.
Thank you, Trustee Sutton Kennedy. Duly noted. Partisan affiliation, all right. Any other subcommittee reports? All right, seeing none. That takes us to board superintendent comments. Are there any board comments at this time?
Trustee Espy, I just want to name, I was able to attend jazz at Shadford Field this weekend, and it was really enjoyable. There was a good crowd, and there was plenty of not only food trucks, but resource tabling at the event, which made me really exciting, including YCS talking about our new immersion school, Puentes multilingual school, and as well as the WISD and a few other places. So it was really great to see everyone out there, and I just enjoyed that. And on a more somber note, as Trustee Sutton Kennedy referenced House bills, I would ask us to please pay careful attention and be advocating within our powers with because I know that there are some things happening both at the state level and federal level that have a significant impact on educational funding right now.
Me, Trustee Fields, and I too was at the Jazz in the Park. I didn't see you. I was looking for my people, but I did see Julie. I was there. I had free ice cream in a cup. That was good. I had that. That was good. And everything was really nice. It was well received. Good voice, a good voice Athena is good. I love her. She was, it was nice. I missed the boots on the ground, but I was there. So I really like that. And, and along those lines, just, to put this out there, and I love the Jazz in the Park, I do. But maybe if we can talk to Taryn, because I know she's our communicator, if we can switch up, I was thinking maybe something like movies have a big movie screen down at the football field, for the community or something like that. They do it at U of M sometime, but I'm just thinking switch up. Jazz in the Park was beautiful, but if we can get something else, 'cause that movie thing is more for the kids. Jazz, that's for us, but if we can get something going on for the babies, in the summer, I think that'll be kind of cool, as maybe a fundraiser or something like that. And then my number 2 fundraiser would be, and it's just how it's in my heart, but an adult, for the teachers and for the school districts and all that, an adult prom for all of us. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Those are my 2 things had on my plate.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Movie night and prom. All right.
Trustee Espy, can I add one more thing in terms of events coming up?
Yes.
There is something called the Balling Initiative, and that is partnering with Ypsilanti Community Schools
Mhm.
for Youth Day at the Park on
yes.
July 25th. It's going to be hosted in West Willow Park from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that's being supported by a number of organizations, including YCS, like The Corner, MBK, Ozone House, Mentor to Youth, Student Advocacy Center, IPSY-CAN, and Underdog Nation. So a really great opportunity for our young folks to get out, as well as us adults. I know they're continuing to look for more referees and people who are able to coach. So if you have an inclination and are available on that Friday, July 25th, by all means, reach out. I believe I've spoken to Tyler Weston as someone who has been a point of contact to organize that event.
Thank you for that addition. Any other board comments?
The only comment that I had was, yeah, I'm tired, but, I want to, just make sure that you all know there were some communications that came from, Representative Morgan, again, about funding. So I encourage you all to make sure you read that email. And then also, you should be receiving emails shortly in regards to Park Ridge's celebration, graduation for the STEM summer camp. We have a phenomenal relationship with YCS, and I wore one of my shirts.
Very
Make
nice.
sure the people that make sure my babies can go get a shirt. And we want to make sure we come out. This is a fun event. It will be on August 8th at 10 a.m. So you'll receive a formal email from the President's Office for WCC. And the other thing is I look forward to all the events coming down the pipeline for YCS. It doesn't seem like we got a break at all, but hey, that's what we signed up for. But it's, we have some great things coming down the pipeline for the district. So I just want to make sure that we're all can be present. If we all can't be there, we have some type of representation from the board. So thank you all again. It's been we started a new season, I guess. Blinked and the old one was gone, and blinked and now we open. So
Time to start it back up again.
yep, good meeting.
And we've been moving in between, so it's a lot going on. Good stuff, good stuff. Any other board comments?
I have one, trustee Sutton Kennedy.
Yes.
Maybe it was last month, I'm losing track of time, maybe about 3 weeks ago. The language team put out a, vote to the parents from the dual immersion program to vote on the logo. So we, received a lot of parent input on that. And that was, parents were given about a week, parents and guardians and families, about a week to vote on that logo. And then we held an event virtually to announce the winning logo. That was, I think, last Tuesday. And so that's a update from the parent side of the dual immersion program. And so
Nice.
that's been really cool to be involved in that and attending some events with some families this summer, like birthday parties and things. It's been really nice to hear them talking about how they have seen just how much YCS is gathering that input from community and families and really utilizing it in that decision making. And so just hearing that, I just wanted to share that with everyone here as well. And we also went through, I felt really lucky to support Celeste Green in recording a video of the middle school building for families. So I got to see it last week and I was really excited for that. And we put that out to families specifically for them to be able to just get a glimpse into the building that their students will be going into next year. So those are some updates about some things that I know about the dual immersion program. Really exciting things.
Very exciting. Thank you so much, trustee Sutton Kennedy, for adding that in the space. Anything else in terms of updates or comments or announcement? All right. The only thing I will say is the board retreat is coming up and I look forward to it. Dr. Zachary Ross.
Yes, we're excited too. Today we finish some of the announcements and plans and getting the people
Mhm.
based off of what you all have said you wanted to have during the retreat. So people are confirming. People are
Thank you.
confirming that they can attend, and we're gathering it together. We're really excited. I'm passing around, as Trustee Townsend talked about, dates. We know we've been getting the save the dates, July 25th, Family Day in the Park at West Willow from 3 to 6 p.m. There's free barbecue dinner. Everybody likes free food. August 2nd is the big back to school bash. And then we know there's a board meeting, but then the YCS Touch a Truck is always a big fun event when people are planning for it. On the other side is the postcard that's going out to 5 zip codes. This is a replica of the postcard. As you'll see, they did a wonderful job in terms of just making with the graphics. They put what programs people will be able to have. You'll see it highlights the Ypsilanti Puentes Multilingual School, the Ypsilanti Connected School, as well as the magnet programs. And the logo that Trustee Sutton Kennedy just talked about is on there. That's their bridge that they selected. Each building has been able to choose because that has always been at the building level, been able to choose designs as long as it goes within the district design. And so they chose their design. So this is going out to families in a postcard type, larger postcard type setting. We're excited about that. And that it has the voice. We talk about choice, the voice, and agency. There's also with Grizzly Learning Camp, they're having this wonderful gallery of greatness at Ford Early Learning Center on July 29th at 9 a.m. I know that they've been sending emails, just inviting people. Oh, I wrote Ford, but I maybe just wanted it to write it at Ford. It's coming off the top of my head. So thank you, Perry. Ford, it's a gallery of greatness. It's just to really share. They've been highlighting the end of the year, end of GLC events and that's coming up on July 29th. Thank you, Dr. Cascarella, at Perry at 9 a.m. You heard at the presentation, if you drive by that billboard on I-94, that it has it rotates between the multilingual, the connected school, and magnet. There's a fourth thing on there. Oh, recruitment. I almost forgot. And so it rotates. So you might drive by once, it says one thing about you drive by the next, because we're gonna keep showing up. And when people drive by, they won't forget about us. So we're really excited about that billboard there. Interviews are being conducted right now, as you are hearing. A lot of the connections with the families are with the building administrators. So we're excited that the interviews for WISE and for Puentes Multilingual are this week. So we'll be hopefully bringing you all the folks to be approved, because we got to get them in, because they're the ones who really are the engaging people who keep everyone engaged. We're going to give you that at the board retreat. So I took that off. I was like, yeah, because I'm like, we got to connect that postcard. Yeah.
Yes.
And our scholars have been they've been going to amazing. They wanted to just thank everyone for going to the experiential field trips like the Motown Museum and the Wiz. They really were excited about those two in particular. There's been some exciting ones. Oh my, and I forgot the last one that they get. Is it tennis? But I must be really tired. Is it tennis? They get a racket. So they're having like a tennis training. Oh, wow. And then at the end, I know I'm not blowing it up, but it really is good. They get this training. And then at the end, they get their own rackets to go home. And so it's really, really exciting. And it's for who's doing it? Third and fourth graders. And who's training them? Yeah, so they're feeling like, more connected to the folks because it's like a
Wow.
bridge. So I'm really excited about that. And again, thank you for Jazz in the parking lot. I know that two of them, but as they were going, everybody was worried about the rain, I think. And so we were like, okay, so then to see that there were still people in the crowd and supporting the event, we're just appreciative. And again, we have some other great summer. We're still here, still going out. And the video, so there's a video for the multilingual pointers, multilingual. And today, when you see Dr. Harris Hugin's video, you've got to share it everywhere. It is the cutest video ever. Inviting people to enroll at YCHS. So when you see it, please share it on your social media pages. All right. Oh yeah, I only have it on Facebook, but they're gonna teach somebody and show me how. Okay.
Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh. It's like so vibrant and like exciting. Oh yeah, this specifically, this is very nice.
Yeah.
It's user friendly, it's aesthetically nice. Look at YCS. We are doing it every day. Board, anything else? Which one? The bridge is not. Isn't it nice?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I want that because I like that bridge thing and
This is slick.
I like to know, like, whoever.
Whoever designed it, yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Job well done.
Thank you to those parents in the dual immersion program because you all did a great job.
Yes.
Yeah, so you should see the other options that we had. I really like that one. That was one of my, there was the People Bridge.
People who created.
And then there was one that was like, a rectangular bridge, kind of like a Mackinac Bridge sort of shape. But they really didn't like that one. They liked the People one or that one.
Or this one that they
And then
landed
that one ended up winning out at the end. That was the one I liked too, so.
Yes.
It was really a tough choice, so I'm happy that, a lot of folks weighed in so we could sort of see what won out. I did have one question. It was about the back to school bash because I haven't seen the volunteer list come through to say, would you like to volunteer for that?
You-
So I
Ms.
just want to
Willis-
say I
Ms.
want to
Willis will be
volunteer.
sending that out soon. She had to get this Jazz, and I'm sure once she got the Jazz in the parking lot, she'll be sending that out.
Do not worry.
Do not.
You will not. All right. Thank you, board, Dr. Zachary Ross, cabinet members, everyone in attendance at the meeting tonight. The time is 8:40.